My name is Paul Mooney. I'm one of the partners in Tandem Consulting. The purpose of this short video is to discuss what we mean when we use the term organisational development. I think organisational development is a slightly confusing term, and I think there's a way to simplify it. I've been working in this space for about 20 years now, and I've come to a strong view that organisational development essentially poses two central questions. The first question is, what's the mission for the organisation? And the second question is, how well are we performing against that mission? Now, it seems deceptively simple to ask, what's the mission? But often it's not as simple as it seems. Let me give you an example. A couple of years back, I lived in Asia, and I had a chance to work in a young offenders facility there. This was a fully secure prison, high walls, barbed wire, lock gates, hard to get into, impossible to get out of. A few years later, I came to work with John Lonergan when he was the governor in Mountjoy about getting some prisoners in Ireland to try and get them back into the third level education system. So if you looked at those two organisations, you'd say a prison in Singapore, a prison in Mountjoy, they actually look very much the same. Outwardly, they look the same. But the prison in Singapore, about 85% of the inmates were involved in education in some way, and in Mountjoy, the same number was about 3%. So essentially, the prison in Singapore had a very different mission, a mission that was rehabilitative and educational, versus the prison in Mountjoy, which was custodial and punitive. So even organisations that are essentially in the same business, supermarkets or a hospital or a bank, can actually have very different missions, even though outwardly it looks like these are in the same business. The second big question in organisation development, once you've figured out what the mission is how well are we performing against that mission? Now, in some organisations, there's very explicit scorecards, and those scorecards make it easy to figure out how many contact lenses we made or how many pieces of footwear we made, what's the quality, and various different parameters. In other organisations, issues of performance are almost undiscussable. It's not very easy to find out how many hours people are working, what the productivity rates are, etc., etc. I think senior management teams, for me, if you can address those two questions, A, what's our organisation mission, and have real clarity around that. What business are we in, and where do we want to be in that business? And secondly, if you can address the second question, what's our performance rate in the business we're in, i.e., how are we performing against our mission? If you can answer those two questions, you're well on the way to developing and building a high-performance organisation. If there's anything that you'd like to expand on, contact us, of course, on any of the contact points on the website. Thanks for listening.